a monster who killed 11 people over 14 years. Baiyin serial sexual assault and murder case. May 26, 1988, 5 p.m., Baiyin City, Gansu Province, China. A 23-year-old woman surnamed Bai returned home from work as usual to her residence on Yongfeng Street. She worked as an office clerk at Baiyin Corporation and was known for her quiet and diligent personality. That evening, her family discovered a horrifying scene. Her room was silent, and inside lay her cold, lifeless body. She had been brutally murdered. Her top was pulled up exposing her chest, and her bottom half was completely undressed. Most shockingly, her neck had been slashed, and she had been stabbed 26 times. The assault was accompanied by rape, and the killer had unleashed extreme violence using a sharp weapon. Due to the limitations of forensic technology at the time, police could not analyze the evidence properly, nor identify a suspect. The case turned cold, and the city seemed to return to normal. But this was only the beginning. July 27, 1994, 2:50 p.m. Exactly 6 years and 2 months later, a 19-year-old female employee surnamed Shi, who worked at Baiyin Electric Supply Bureau, was found dead in her dormitory. Like Bai, her top was removed, her bottom garments were pulled down, and her neck was slashed. She had been stabbed 36 times. Signs of sexual assault were present again, and the murder method was nearly identical. The police began to suspect a serial killer due to the similar modus operandi. But after 6 years they still had no leads. The brutality, targeted female victims, and long gaps between attacks led authorities to suspect a psychopathic profile, but there was no progress. A new pattern of terror emerges. In Shengli Street, Baiyin City, the silence of a quiet residential area was shattered by screams. A 29-year-old woman surnamed Yang, who lived alone and had good relations with neighbors, had not been heard from for several days. A friend, concerned by her silence, visited her home. With a neighbor's help, they peered through a window and immediately called the police. Yang had been dead for several days. It was later determined she was killed around January 13th. Her body was naked, her neck cleanly cut, and she had 16 stab wounds. She had also been raped. This time, however, the killer had mutilated her body further. Both ears and part of her scalp had been removed with surgical precision, 13 by 24 centimeters flesh missing. 3 days later, on January 19th at 5:45 p.m., 27-year-old Deng was found dead in her home on Shuichuan Road. She was engaged to be married and known for being quiet and hardworking. Her top was pulled up, bottom pulled down to her knees, her neck stabbed deeply, and she had 8 stab wounds. The most horrific part: her left nipple and a portion of her back had been cut out in a 30 by 24 centimeters piece. The killer was becoming more gruesome and calculated. These 2 incidents confirmed the presence of a serial killer in Baiyin. But the murderer remained in the shadows. July 30th, evening. The most shocking victim yet. At around 6 p.m., a father found his 8-year-old daughter dead in their bedroom. Her pants were completely removed, and a belt was wrapped tightly around her neck. She had been raped. The police found no slash wounds or beheading, but the brutality and obsessive nature of the crime were consistent with earlier murders. Another tragic discovery. 16-year-old Shui, an employee at Baiyin Corporation, failed to show up for work. Her co-workers visited her home around 11 a.m., where they found her dead in her bedroom. She had been beheaded, stabbed 22 times, and her body was horrifically mutilated. Both breasts, hands, and even her genitalia had been removed. Police suspected the killer may have collected these body parts as trophies. In 1998 alone, 4 murders occurred. 2 within days, 1 involving a child, and 1 with extreme mutilation. Fear gripped the city. Women avoided going out at night. Parents were terrified to leave children alone. Media dubbed the killer the Red Shadow, and China's Jack the Ripper. Yet no real leads emerged. The killer remained a phantom in the dark. November 20, 2000. After 2 quiet years, 28-year-old Luo, a textile worker, was found dead in her home. She was naked, her neck slashed, pants pulled to her knees, and both hands were severed. There were no slash marks or signs of a struggle. Investigators noted that the killer was now killing with cold precision, almost ritualistically. May 22, 2001. 28-year-old nurse Zhang. When she didn't show up for work at the Baiyin Women's Health Clinic, a colleague visited her home. Zhang was found stabbed 16 times and sexually assaulted. Police concluded that these were no longer isolated incidents, but the work of a long-term serial killer who lived among them. Still, the suspect remained unidentified. February 9, 2002. Final known victim. 25-year-old Zhu was on a business trip and staying at the Taolakan Hotel. When she didn't check out, staff entered the room and found her dead. Her shirt was pulled up, pants off, neck deeply slashed, and she had been raped. The crime mirrored the others. Over 14 years. 9 victims in Baiyin City. From 1988 to 2002, 9 women, mostly in their teens and 20s, were killed while alone in their homes or dorms. One victim was just 8 years old. Most were raped and mutilated. The killer operated with chilling consistency and went undetected for nearly 3 decades. Panic grew with each incident. Rumors spread. He targets women in red. He defiled corpses after killing them. But the most terrifying possibility was that one person had committed all of them. The breakthrough, 2016. In summer 2016, China reopened the cold cases. Police collected DNA samples from over 100,000 local men. Eventually, a man arrested for petty theft had DNA that matched 98% of the killer's profile. He was the nephew of the killer. Following this lead, on August 26, 2016, Gao Qingyong, age 51, was arrested. Gao Qingyong, the quiet monster. Gao lived a quiet life with his wife and 2 sons, running a school canteen. Neighbors called him a modest, diligent family man. His sons were honor students. No one suspected him. He had once dreamed of becoming a pilot but failed. He worked odd jobs at a textile factory and led an unassuming life. He was quiet, introverted, and rarely showed emotion. Gao confessed to killing 11 women from 1988 to 2002, 9 in Baiyin and 2 in Baotou, Inner Mongolia. He admitted to rape and murder, but never let his family see his dark side. Police identified him as a psychopathic serial killer with extreme misogyny and possible dissociative identity disorder. Execution and legacy. Gao was sentenced to death and executed by lethal injection on January 3, 2019. The 28-year nightmare was over, but the scars remain. This case shook Chinese society. It sparked discussions on forensic science, surveillance, and the hidden darkness behind normal people. Gao was not extraordinary. He didn't fight with neighbors, abuse his family, or attract suspicion. He simply lived quietly while methodically feeding his dark desires. His story raises disturbing questions. Do we truly know the people around us? Is evil far away, or so close we can't see it? Though his shadow is gone, the wounds he left still haunt Baiyin. This story must be told, so we never forget the silent monsters among us. Rest in peace to the victims.